Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 6 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Hey everybody, I'm Brady, and I am back for what I guess this is like week 3 to 4 of Countdown to Christmas, but then we have some other entries coming into play this week, and I will talk about that a little later. So listen, I'm about 6 weeks from Christmas vacation now. So I took some time off last week to really rest and recover following like a crazy few weeks of like doctor visits due to my high blood pressure and everything. I told you guys all about that already. So I do feel more rested, but I also got a lot done during those days, and including making some progress on my new book, which I haven't been able to make progress in a long time. So I feel like I'm returning to my season of creativity now that I've done a lot of decluttering, and the house feels really good because I've decluttered a lot. I'm also trying my best to stay on schedule with the show. I know this is, I'm a day late, but better a day late than, a week or too late. So I'm okay with that. I'm getting better. We're moving in the right direction. We're trending in the right direction. So for me, that's huge. But also, I kind of tackled one of my final decluttering frontiers, and that was the closet next to my laundry room. Now, if you can kind of picture this, when you come in through my garage, there is a double door closet on the right hand side, and then straight ahead is the laundry room. And this closet had been used kind of as a catch-all. So I think the intent of the closet was, if you're coming in from the garage and like you need to hang up your coat, you need to put away your shoes or whatever, then you can use that closet. But we never used that closet for that. In all the years I've been here, I don't think we've ever like used the closet for that. And I needed some more kitchen storage. So I thought, hey, let's put another shelf in here and let's get some of this other paper towels and toilet paper, all that kind of stuff that's in there organized. Some of my overstock from the pantry, let's get all of it organized so that now I can have like an extra closet, because I do have a pretty small pantry when you think about the size of pantries nowadays. I don't have a walk-in pantry. I have you open up a door and there's like 6 closet shelves, 6 wire shelves in there, that kind of pantry. And so I use that for, all everyday things, but the overstock goes into that other closet. So anyway, it was really kind of a Monica's Closet deal. Okay. If you guys know, for those of you who have watched Friends, you know about the Monica Closet reference. But Monica and I are like soulmates, right? She was a total ladybug, and I am a ladybug in that she kept a very neat apartment. Everything was neat. The kitchen was neat, but she had that one closet where she stashed everything, all the junk, all the things that she didn't know what to do or to put elsewhere. And when you open the door, like all the contents would practically fall out on you because it was so. That's what I had. I had a Monica's Closet. So during my time off, one of the things I addressed was my Monica's Closet, and I got it organized. And I even put like peel and stick wallpaper up, and it looks very nice now for an overstock closet, right? I put a shelf in there, get everything organized. You can open it up, you can close it with ease now. It was kind of one of those beautiful things, right? So I was able to do that. But then, so it really led me to think about this lower cabinet that I have, right? It needs to be tackled. So I think in the past 4 or 5 months, I've probably gone into that cabinet, this lower cabinet, for exactly one pan. And it is the one that I used to make the dogs chicken and rice. I spoil my dogs, right? I make them chicken and rice. They either have chicken breast and rice, or they have boneless chicken thighs and rice. Oh, I know, I spoil them. I really do spoil them, but hey, those are my babies. Anyway, but that's it. I use one pan out of there. Everything, and then that thing is, and I decluttered it, but there's still a lot in it. And I realized this week, I don't use anything in it except this one thing. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of that cabinet and I'm going to donate it except that one pot that I use, and I'll probably keep one set of the serverware that I use for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, to put the turkey or the ham or whatever on it, right? So and all the side dishes and all of that kind of stuff. I have one set of that kind of thing in there and that pot, and other than that, there's nothing in there that I use. Why am I allowing all of this stuff to sit in there that I don't use when I could have that space to store away things that really need to be stored away? So anyway, I've decided to tackle that. And then after that, I'm pretty much done with my major decluttering tasks. It's really just upkeep and stuff after that. And so I'll be donating all of that stuff. That's it. And not only freeing up space, when you declutter, right, it not only frees up space in your house, it actually frees up space in your mind. So what I will say about decluttering, and I know I've kind of talked to you guys throughout my journey, but it's a pain and it is a constant process. But it's like giving yourself the gift of time. For me, organization has meant knowing where things are in my kitchen, having things put away so that I actually feel like going in the kitchen and cooking. So I've probably cooked in the last, probably like last 3 or 4 months, more than I've cooked ever. And that is because when I need a pot, I know where to go to find the pot. When I need a pan, I know where to go to find the pan. I open up my pantry, I know what food I have in here, I know what food I need to order, or go pick up, or have my son go pick up, because I really don't go to the grocery store anymore. But it's so easy. There's no friction. I've removed all of the friction out of my kitchen except for this one last space, and I'm going to take care of that within the next couple of weeks. So give yourself the gift of time, right? Give yourself the gift of time. And that once you get things organized, it is a pain to go through, and you can use containers or not containers. I bought containers because for me, keeping things in containers that are like things, so that when I pull out one container, I pull out all the like things, right? So like I keep all my baking stuff in one container or in one area. So when I go to that area, I know this is baking stuff. So I pull out my baking soda and my baking powder, my flour, my sugar. I keep my wheat flour separate from my all-purpose flour, and it's all labeled and it's all easy to find. It's just amazing how much it just makes things easier. So give yourself the gift of time over this holiday. I've heard people talking about no spending this holiday. If you're not going to spend, that's good. But use the holiday to give yourself the gift of organization, because that organization is going to save you time, not only over the holidays, but like forever, as long as you keep it up. And you have to routinely like kind of go into places and make sure things don't get decluttered, and kind of reshuffle things and make sure they're organized. But honestly, I can't tell you guys enough. And I have not given I'm 56 and I have not given myself this gift until last year. So trust and believe when I tell you, one of my regrets, if I haven't owed any regret, is that I did not learn to do this earlier. I could have been saving so much time in my life. So for those of you who are younger, save yourself the time. Go through your house, do organization, declutter first, then organize. And I'm telling you, the difference that it's going to make in your life is just incredible. It will change your life, and it will change it for the better. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Now, today I've got a couple movie reviews that I'm going to talk about. Christmas on Duty and Newport Christmas. Both of those were Hallmark premieres this past weekend. And then I've got the scoop on a new Prime video and a new Hulu Disney Plus video. Plus, in the second segment, we're going to have the entire Countdown to Christmas lineup coming up. So whatever's coming up for this week, I'm doing this a week at a time. So whatever's coming up for this week, we're going to talk about it in the second segment. First things first, St. Nick shoutouts. As always, man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't even know how to thank you guys for listening into the show. I am 6 seasons in. It still baffles me that I'm still doing this show. It still baffles me that people actually listen to this, but I'm so thankful for you guys. I really am. So today I'm going to give you the longer version of the St. Nick shoutouts. I'm going to give some big love to 5 listener locations and the top 3 Christmas events in the area. Remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. So the first location is Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio, thank you for listening into the show. So listen, I'm a Buckeye, right? Well, part of my heart is Buckeye. Part of me is from Washington, D.C. It's like I was born and I was raised like up until probably like the 13, maybe 12 or 13. I was raised in the D.C. area. And then we moved to my mom's hometown in Bel Air, Ohio. And I lived there I went to middle school there, went to high school there, and then I went to the University of Akron for my first year of college before I transferred to DC. So I spent a lot of time as a Buckeye, right? I still have an affinity for the Buckeye, and I still have family that live in Columbus to this day. So, Columbus, Ohio is very close to my heart. Anyway, so let's talk about the 3 Christmas events in the area. So the first event is the Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. So this venue hosts its Conservatory Aglow holiday light and display event featuring thousands of twinkling lights, special floral arrangements, and seasonal programming. Now, here's some tips. It's best to go after dark so that you can see the light displays, right? Because we know, the lights are my big thing, and I hope the lights bring joy to you like they bring to me. As a matter of fact, I really need to put my garland, my lighted garland up in my house this weekend. And I'll probably put my Christmas tree up, with lights. I may wait for to hang the ornaments and stuff, but the tree's going up. I'm not going to spare myself that joy. If you go on the weeknights, right? If you go on weeknights, not weekends, but weeknights, it tends to be less crowded than on the weekends, right? Obviously, because on the weekends, everybody's off and, everybody has more time to do Christmassy things. Dress warmly. Let me tell you, I know it's got to be a little chilly in Columbus. Now, Washington, yesterday, I think it was in the 60s. Today, it's supposed to get up to 70. I think it's supposed to be in the 60s for the rest of the week. And the next week, it takes a plummet. And we're in the 40s, right? And close to 50s, but in the 40s. So if you have this week, and you have good weather this week, please enjoy it. Anyway, so this event, the Conservatory Aglow, is for families, couples, and anyone looking for a magical indoor-outdoor holiday setting. The next thing is at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. They have holiday lights, wild lights. Their Wild Lights event features millions, did you hear what I said? Millions of LED lights. Animated light shows holiday characters like Rudolph. Oh my gosh, I love Rudolph. And themed displays. Arrive close to opening time, early in the evening, to avoid the big crowds, right? Wear comfortable shoes. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, right? And some parts may be outdoors and a little chilly, so make sure you dress accordingly. Parking might be limited, right? And this is for families with children, groups of friends looking for a fun evening outing, and light-loving holiday fans, which would be moi, okay? The last thing is the John F. Wolfe Columbus Commons and Scioto Mile evening walk among holiday lights. This is a free and scenic option, a lighted walking path through downtown Columbus, along Columbus Commons and the Scioto Mile. I don't know how to pronounce that. Apparently, I've not been to Columbus enough to know how to pronounce all the things, right? But it's Scioto Mile with festive lighting, seasonal displays, and a nice backdrop of the city. Evening strolls are best after dusk. Why? Because it is a light event and it's easier to see the lights at night. So you want to do the evening stroll and you want to make sure you dress accordingly. And this is for anyone who just wants a relaxed holiday evening walk, couples, local residents seeking something budget-friendly and festive. Okay? All right. The second location that I have for you today, and I did not know where this was. I had to go look it up. It is Santa Catarina, Mexico. Thank you. Thank you for joining the show, Santa Catarina, Mexico. All right, so the top 3 Christmas events and Santarina. I totally butchered that. Sorry. It's Santa Catarina. All right, the top 3 holiday season events in the area include Luz, which I think means light. So it's like Lightopia, right? And it's a light festival. And I have some of the best pictures. I'm going to, honestly, if I have enough time, I'm really going to try and share these lights. So the 2025 theme for this Festival of Lights is North Pole Express. The event features illuminated figures, interactive displays like Santa's house, his sled, etc., music, and a festive atmosphere. It's a major holiday lights spectacle and perfect for families or anyone wanting a festive evening outing in the region. All right, the next thing in Santa Catarina is Christmas tree holiday light up events in the Monterey area. Okay, so there are several tree lighting ceremonies, parades, and illumination displays in the broader metropolitan area. That's Monterey and the vicinity in late November and December. One example is a Christmas tree lighting 2025 scheduled for 21 November in Monterey. And so that's one such event. And these events, of course, tree lightings tend to be low cost or free, and they're good for the holiday spirit. They get everybody out in front of the tree, you're building community, and you have like this really festive local experience, right? And you don't need to travel that far because, the trees are normally nearby. You're not going to go like I go to New York to see my tree. But, I have a couple that I can go see. The Capitol tree, the White House tree, they have like, I don't know what it's called. In front of the White House, they have like this festival of trees. They have one tree from every state in the union, and then you get to go by. So I always go to the Maryland tree, right? But you can go by and look at all the trees decorated from every state of the union. So, that's always a thing. But anyway, tree lightings are beautiful and we love them. So there's that. All right. And then the third thing is we have general holiday season festivities in Mexico, Nuevo Leon. Okay. In Mexico, the Christmas season includes several traditional observances. The feast of Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe, Las Posadas, and I hope I did not butcher them. Forgive me if I did. And the celebration continues until Dia de la Reyes Magos and even Dia de la Candelaria. Okay? While not always large commercial festivals, these traditions often include processions, lights, parades, street decorations, and community gatherings. So, in the Santa Catarina, Nuevo Leon region, you'll find many neighborhood-level events around these dates. All right, so that is it for Santa Catarina. The number three location is Payson, Utah. Payson, Utah. I think I've talked about Payson before in one of the previous seasons, but I was excited to cover it today. I know Utah's a big location for filming Christmas movies, so I had to bring up Payson, Utah. Anyway, here are the top 3 Christmas events in Payson, Utah. Number 1 is Petite Neat Christmas Boutique and Train Show. I have to share pictures of this. I'm looking at pictures right now. Petite Neat Museum and Cultural Arts Center is where this event takes place, and the museum is decorated for Christmas with vendors in each room, a large miniature train exhibit, holiday treats, and a festive ambiance. Now, let me tell you about my grandfather. Rest in peace. He passed away years ago, but my grandfather used to the one in Ohio, right? Got 2 grandfathers, right? One in Ohio and one in North Carolina. And that train set came out, you knew it was Christmas. And I used to love that about Christmas. So much so that I have attempted multiple times over the years to recreate the experience by buying a train set for my son, to run under the Christmas tree. But they're just never the same. And they're just cheesy, Christmas train sets. They're never like that beautiful antique one that my grandfather had. But anyway, so again, decorated Christmas trees, we absolutely love them. This event is great for families and visitors who enjoy indoor activities, of which I would be one, and cozy museum setting. All right, the next event on my list is the Petite Neat Santa Dash. Now, this looks like fun. A lot of fun. So it starts at the museum and it ends on East Payson Street, I guess. It's a 1-mile walk through town, ending with hot chocolate, donuts at the museum, and Christmas lights, and a Christmas lights turn on ceremony. Gotta love that. And I can do even a 1-mile run walk. I could probably run a mile. That's probably my limit. I am not a Boston Marathon person or a Marine Corps marathon person, the marathon that runs through here. So, but definitely I'm a 1-miler for sure. I'm actually probably a 10-miler. My grandmother and I, every year, we used to walk this 10-mile walk in Wheeling, West Virginia. And she was so good. I mean, she's out in her 60s and 70s doing this 10-mile walk. She was such a little busybody. But anyway, so yes, I've done even probably up to 10 miles, but I don't think I've done more than 10 miles. Anyway, so this is for energetic families and people who like a fun event to kick off the holiday season. The last event is the Winter Wonderland Electric Light Parade. Winter Wonderland Electric Light Parade. You guys will have to forgive me. My son has given me some bug, and I'm fighting my sinuses. So this time I'm actually fighting like a real cold, versus the other times when I don't know. Sometimes I just get here and I don't know what. As soon as I turn on the mic, I start having sinus issues. I'm like, what is going on? Why is it that? And it doesn't matter where I sit in the house, I have the same sinus issues. So I gotta believe it's like an internal reaction to me sitting in front of a microphone, because I'm introverted. Baby, it's like my body's like rejecting the microphone. But anyway, so we have the Winter Wonderland and Electric Light Parade. It involves inflatables, games, food trucks, local vendor booths, an ice rink opens for the season, live tree lighting, and then a themed electric light parade, Christmas around the world. This is an event for everyone, an ideal outing for, but you gotta do it in the evening so you can see the lights. Once again, this is a light thing, right? I love the light. You guys know I love the lights. I love lights at night, so it's beautiful. It's a festive atmosphere and a community celebration. We love all of those celebrations that bring the community together. Number 4 on my list is Spring Valley, New York. Spring Valley, New York. So the top 3 Christmas events in Spring Valley, New York include, first of all, thank you for joining Spring Valley. The top 3 Christmas events in Spring Valley include the annual tree lighting and holiday ceremony. So what I can tell you is that I really have to start tweeting out or putting these photos on Instagram, because they are just beautiful. I mean, it just makes you want to make everything your bucket list every time you see the pictures. But the village's annual tree lighting ceremony, often including performances, music, refreshments, and a community gathering. For example, the 2024 edition was set for December 10th at the heart of Spring Valley. It's a classic, family-friendly start to the season. Free, hello, the magic word. We love a free event, and embedded in the local community. Arrive early for a good viewing spot and bring a hot drink, because it's going to be a little chilly. We're talking Spring Valley, New York, right? So it's probably going to be a little chilly. All right, the next event is the Holiday Vendor Fair and Community Market in Spring Valley. A vendor fair market event with holiday shopping, local artisan goods. I don't know. Treats, kids' activities, cookie decorating, writing letters to Santa, and festive decor. For example, a listing mentioned Christmas carols, hop on a jolly trolley ride, sip hot cocoa bar, decorate cookies, write letters to Santa, and get Santa photos in Spring Valley. Oh my gosh, you gotta love that. This is great for picking up unique gifts, getting into the holiday spirit, and involving kids. Go early to avoid the crowds, right? You got to do that, and also to get the best picks of the stuff to buy, because if you go later you go, the more picked over that stuff gets. Bring some cash, small bills for vendors that may not take cards. All right, number 3 is holiday activities and lighted parade downtown festivities. See, once again, you really don't get the feel of it until you see these pictures. While direct details in Spring Valley are sparse, local sources indicate holiday festivities that include downtown lights, parade-style floats, and street decorations. Christmas on historic Broadway in Spring Valley with a free light parade is mentioned in community postings. It's an outdoor evening, right? It combines a walk through decor and festive sights and likely refreshments or hot drinks. Gotta love that. And we're in Spring Valley, gotta dress warm, okay? And then number 5 on my list, last but not least, Redondo Beach, California. Gotta love it. I love a beach. I've never had Christmas in a beachy area. I've always been on the East Coast, whether it's up in Ohio or it's down in North Carolina. It's always, Christmas on the East Coast for me. So we always get the seasons in the East Coast where I live. And so it's usually, very cold, borderline snowy during the Christmas season. So I've never had the beachy, warm Christmas. But people gotta love it. It doesn't matter where you are. So the first event is the holiday concert on the pier. So it's a free community event on the west end of Redondo Beach Pier with live holiday music, carolers, holiday arts and crafts, and gift wrapping. This year, it is scheduled for December 13th, 2025. So that is coming up in about another month. Okay? It's a family-friendly seaside setting combining festive entertainment plus a beachy vibe. Right? Gotta love that. Arrive early for parking spots. And you're going to be outdoors, and it's probably going to be by water. So, it's going to be by water. It's probably going to be chilly if you go in the evening. Okay. Number 2 on the list is the Christmas Boat Parade in King Harbor. The annual holiday boat parade in King Harbor. I want to go to a boat parade. I gotta think that in Annapolis, like on the bay, there's gotta be a boat parade. I really want to do that. I don't know. I'm thinking of find one this season. If I do, I'll share pictures on Twitter. But I want to do a boat parade. The annual boat parade in King Harbor, where boats of all sizes are beautifully decorated with lights and sail the harbor in a festive procession. The water reflections plus decorated boats make for a magical holiday spectacle, great for families or a cozy evening out. So you got to get there early to choose a good viewing spot, right? You know what movie has a boat parade? Well, there's a couple. There's Christmas Sail and there's Christmas with Holly that I can remember off the top of my head. Are 2 Christmas movies with boat parades in them. This is my encyclopedic knowledge, and you know this because I watch Christmas movies all the freaking time. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so you want to get there early to get a good spot, right? And then you just have to check for the date and time every year, but they hold that annually. So, number 3 event is the Holiday Carolers and events at the Portofino Hotel and Marina. At the Portofino Hotel and Marina, you'll find holiday carolers on select evenings from 6 to 9 p.m., along with a toy drive and festive treats by the marina. If you want a slightly more upscale holiday outing with water views, refreshments, and ambiance, this fits. So, you got to get there early another time because parking's going to fill up quickly. All right, that is it for St. Nick shoutouts for the day. So next up is Ho 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 holiday headlines. I don't have like a lot of long news today, but I got a few things to talk about. The first thing is Christmas on Tubi. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Christmas on Hallmark Mysteries this year. So I have to emphasize that this year they are really using Hallmark Mysteries like they used Hallmark Families in the past, where it's classic movies. Honestly, if you really love classic movies, those ones that you haven't seen in years on the Hallmark Channel, because they've favored the more current modern movies over the classic movies. This year, Hallmark Mysteries is your channel. I mean, it's just, they have Christmas classics. I mean, days where they just go mostly Christmas classics. It's beautiful. I love those movies because for people like me who have been watching Hallmark for years, we love those older movies. We love those movies that used to kick off the season. And I don't know, this year is especially nostalgic for me, as it may be for a lot of people. So if you like the Christmas classics, you can just put your set your TV to Hallmark Mysteries, and they're playing Christmas classics all day, all night. It's beautiful. Love it. I absolutely love this year and this rotation of movies and how they're doing it. They call it bringing out movies from their vault. That may be a little more dramatic than the actual truth, but the fact is that there's so many movies playing this year, and I'll get into a few later on in the second segment of this show. There's so many movies they're playing this year that are just the classics that I really have missed over the past few years, because really, I mean, they've peppered in a few classic movies, but this year we're getting strings and strings of them. It's beautiful. So I gotta thank you for the budget cuts over at Hallmark that required them to reach back in the vault and bring these things out. I wouldn't mind if you did this every year. I'm happy. I'm happy with the selection. Are you happy with the selection on Hallmark? I'm happy with the selection on Hallmark. All right, so for my ho holiday headlines, I only have a few things, and a few things that I'll just like to mention up close, and and I'll talk about a few later. Christmas on Tubi. So if you watch Nicely movies, which you have watched Nicely movies, whether you know it or not, many of the movies on Up TV and many of the movies on Lifetime have been acquired from Nicely. So there's a lot of Christmas movies. Well, apparently they've decided to release their own Christmas movies rather than rely on those acquisitions, which probably this year have been fewer because there's not as many Christmas movies on the main channels that we watch. So Nicely said, hey, you don't have to acquire our movies. We'll release them now. There's just so many streaming apps and stuff. So on Tubi, which is free, you can download if you have a smart TV. I think you can watch them on your computer, but for me, I have an app downloaded on my smart TV, and you can watch Nicely Christmas movies all month long. So you just go on to Tubi, find Christmas movies, and you will find a ton of Christmas movies released from Nicely on the app. So if you want some free Christmas movie content, go check it out. All right. Now, this is a tariff alert. The second piece of news, and this is my own personal news. So listen, I bought something. It's a writing gadget. For those of you who didn't know, I am a writer. So I bought this writing gadget back in March, and they're finally getting ready to ship it. So I bought it, it's like crowdsourced. So they're getting ready to ship it this month, I think, or later, or maybe early next month. I think because I bought it in March, they're going to ship it this month. And they just asked me for $30 additional to pay for the tariffs. Yep, $30 additional to pay for the tariffs. Unfortunately for them, I want it for my YouTube channel. So I went ahead and paid the $30 because I want to do, like the box opening and the demos and stuff like that. So I paid it. I went ahead and paid it, but just beware. That's like the first time I've been hit with something that expressly said, because most of the time they just kind of build it into the price. But because I'd paid for this, in March, they added the tariff on the end of it, and they're basically like, hey, you could pay the $30 and get this, or we'll just refund all your money. And I was like, I'll just go ahead and get the little device. But yeah, so it's out there, it's real, and I just paid it for the first time, knowingly, and separately paying that. No, I think most of the time they just build it into your price. But $30, $30, yes, that just happened. So just beware, the tariffs are out there. If you plan to order something and they're shipping it from outside the country, from, I guess, select locations, just know it's going to cost you a little extra. I am quickly getting to the point where I am just going to stop buying stuff until all this blows over. So my next piece of news is about a new Christmas movie on Prime Video. Tyler Perry's Finding Joy debuts. It debuted last night, November 5th, right? So it's November 6th for me. It's like in the middle of the night. So what happened after work, I felt awful. I told you I'm catching the bug from my son. And so I took some cold medicine, got in the bed immediately. I was so tired, I didn't even get on my Peloton and do my exercises. So it's just, I was going downhill fast. And I was like, I got to stop this train. Otherwise, I'm really going to be sick over the next few days. So I took some medicine, got in the bed, and it just made me so sleepy. It knocked me out. I turned on Finding Joy. I was watching it for probably well over an hour. And I woke up. I fell asleep. I think it was because of the medicine. I don't think I was really bored. But yeah, so I woke up and then I saw the ending, and then I had to back up so that I could see what I missed. So I probably slept for about 40 minutes in the middle of it. But not 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes in the middle of it. So I had to watch it again. I will give a review on that. I don't know, probably I wasn't expecting to have watched it when I first created my little talk track. So so I'll review it in the next episode that'll come out next Tuesday on time, or closer to on time. And then, last but not least, if you have Disney or Hulu, somebody I always look out for is Chad Michael Murray. I have loved him since that Cinderella movie he did. So I always look out for him. And then, last year he did the strip movie on Netflix, right? So this year he has a new movie on. He has new movie on Disney or Hulu. I want to say it's called Finding Christmas Joy, but it premiered. I want to say November 1st. So if you have Disney Plus or Hulu, which I do, a lot of people are canceling Disney Plus. I still have Disney Plus. If you still have it, you can watch I have it because it's free. Like, if I was paying for it, I'd probably have canceled it. But since it's free, I'm like, hey, it doesn't cost me anything to have it, so I still have it. So if you have Disney Plus, check out the new Chad Michael Murray new movie. It started on November 1st, and I'll probably give a little bit more detail about that in the second part of the show. All right, now it's time for ratings and reviews. So this week, it featured a Christmas on Duty. Sorry about that. That was last week. Christmas on Duty and a Newport Christmas. So, Christmas on Duty. Okay, so Christmas on Duty, right? So I have a lot of things to say about this movie, but first I'm going to start with, the movie star Janelle Parrish and Parker Young. It was set in Quantico, Virginia. Now, that's actually here in the DMV, in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, right? Right on the outskirts. I've been to Quantico many, many, many times, so I had perspective. It is the home of the Marine Corps, and it's also, I think, Marine Corps training is what's there. And then the FBI Training Academy is also there, right? So, the premise of the movie is, they have basically 24 hours to deliver gifts by Christmas morning, and they have to deliver 150 gifts, right? So for Janelle Parrish's character, Blair, I think for her, everything is work. Everything is all about ambition, promotion, and all of this kind of stuff. And so she kind of has to realize that not everything is about work, right? And Parker, on the other hand, he takes on everything. Everything is about family versus work, right? And whatever he can do to help the family, he takes it on. But he takes on too much. And he tries to carry a lot on his shoulders, maybe that he shouldn't carry on his shoulders. So, things get sticky there. So the premise is former rivals Blair and Josh must work Christmas duty together. When a snowstorm threatens holiday deliveries to the base, they're forced to cooperate to save Christmas despite their past conflicts. And past conflicts they do have. So immediately, in my mind, my romance writer mind, I immediately saw this as a enemies to lovers romance, right? In the beginning, they give a lot of backstory. Almost too much backstory at first for my taste, and then I realized why they needed the backstory. But you get to see them as they become rivals. So they seem to start as friends, and then the ambition for both of them ends up turning them into fierce rivals, right? I would say, he's more like Happy the House Elf. He's all into Christmas and the lights and the trees and all of that kind of stuff. And she's more on the Grinchy side. She likes Christmas, but she just likes, she celebrates it in a different way. I would say, if she's a Grinch, she's like the Grinch after his heart grew three sizes, right? So he was for Christmas, but he was really for Christmas. So their parents were also rivals, right? The characters' parents were also rivals, so part of their rivalry is inherited just by the last name, right? But they have a lot more in common than I think both of them ever realized. Both of them lost their mothers, right? And they are still grieving in their own ways. And so this conflict with them, right? It got them into trouble. This conflict that's between this rivalry between them got them into trouble. And an officer that outranked them forced them to work together, 24 straight hours together. And so what I will say about this movie, one thing that kind of drove me crazy is that they kind of, like you could feel the military consultant all through this, because they threw in all the buzzwords, right? It's tough if you like work in the industry and you kind of know the buzzwords and you're like, oh my God, they're buzzwording me to death, right? So for most people that watch it, they probably wouldn't notice that. For me, I was like, oh my God, please stop buzzwording me. It feels like they were trying to be authentic, but sometimes it feels forced. Especially when you have two people that are in the Marine Corps. They would not always talk Marine Corps to one another, right? That's not how it works. If you're in formal official settings, you kind of talk Marine Corps, but if you're not, you don't really talk Marine Corps. You don't talk military. It's a little different. Anyway, lots of backstory. Like I said, this time I just don't think they needed it as much as backstory as they showed. I don't know. I want to say like the first 5 minutes is like backstory, and then you kind of start getting into what's going on today. So on a scale of Merry Christmas to Ted Cooper, which right now is my lead movie in the running, okay, I would say this one to me is not on the same level. I gave that one 4.5 Christmas trees. I would give this one 3.5 Christmas trees, right? There were some fun elements, snow, Christmas events, but it just tried too hard to sound like it was military. When you see these guys in uniform, you get the military, right? You don't need to be hammered over the head with the uniforms, plus the jargon, right? It's just too much. So I would say for me, it turned me off for that, and that is because, you know, I've worked in the industry. I hear things, I see things. I have a real life view of what it is to like work in the middle of a bunch of military people. I am not military myself, but I have certainly, I have worked in the Pentagon at one time, so I've certainly been in that environment, and the way that they're talking, it was just kind of drove me crazy. Anyway, so that's that. 3.5 Christmas trees for Christmas on Duty. I'd say watch it. It is enjoyable. It may be even something that you watch more than once. For me, probably not. And that's just because the jargon drove me crazy. Okay. The next one is A Newport Christmas with Gina Claire Mason and Wes Brown. The premise is Ella is a charitable and spirited Newport socialite in 1905. So they call this like the Gilded Age. She was kind of a Gilded Age socialite who was very charitable, right? Super charitable. Oh, you were hammered over the head with the charitable nature, right? So we got it. She's charitable. She dreams of using her wealth to start a foundation to help others in town. After learning her father intends for her to become engaged to a man she's never met at the upcoming Christmas Eve ball, Ella goes for a nighttime sail in her schooner, is that right? Schooner, and to clear her head. Upon seeing a comet shoot across the sky, she wistfully wishes for a different life. Ella is shocked to suddenly find Nick, a sailor and local Newport historian, aboard her schooner and accuses him of being a stowaway. But Nick insists he owns the boat, and a standoff ensues. Once on dry land, Ella realizes that somehow she's traveled from 1905 to 2025. Very much reminds me of like a timeless Christmas in that way, where you had somebody from the past brought into the future, and they're like, you know, that was Ryan Pavey, I think, and Aaron Cahill, where, you know, when Ryan came into the future, he was, there was an adjustment period, and there was a period in of making Aaron believe that he was in fact not just crazy, but he was from the past. And so I think they really go through that same thing in here in that way. As she spends time there and gets a glimpse of what her future in 1905 appears to be, she becomes reluctant to return, especially since she and Nick have grown close and she knows how true love feels. But the legacy Ella built in her time and the course of Newport's history risk being erased the longer she stays. So the longer she stays, the more she risks her past being erased. And her past is really important because she helps a lot of people. So the two plot a course for her trip back through time, but what awaits her at home is even more surprising than what she found in the future. So that is the premise. That is straight from IMDb. What I will tell you is this. First of all, I have a few little nits before I get, no, let me start off with the good thing. The good thing is this movie was way better than I expected it to be. The storyline was fantastic, right? Wes Brown, to me, fantastic. The rest of the cast, the secondary story, all of that, fantastic. To me, Jenna Claire Mason, who starred, she overacted a bit throughout the movie, right? She was very dramatic. And for me, fortunately, I think Wes's performance with everything else in the movie, the writing was exceptional to me. So everything else in the movie kind of outweighed her overacting, but she did, to me, overact. It was just a little bit much. Just very dramatic, very, okay, yes, and we got hammered over the head with how charitable she is. I mean, you just got beat like a bat. And then she really overplayed that. So to me, the positive elements of the movie outweigh the negative, right? So I would say, for me, A Newport Christmas was about 4 Christmas trees because the story is really good. The writing, to me, really good. I just think, Gina, she just could have dialed it back a little bit. She'd been all right. But she didn't dial it back, and she wasn't all right. So anyway, so that's it for that. 4 Christmas trees to A Newport Christmas. Definitely want to watch. It's a good story. If you mentally dial Gina back, then the rest of the movie is good and you'll enjoy it. Okay? All right. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll be right back to talk about the TV Christmas movie lineup. And on Hulu, talk about Chad Michael Murray's new movie, and then I'll talk about what's coming up on Countdown to Christmas for next week. For this week. All right, stay tuned. It's Christmas in July, and what better way to spend it than reading a holiday story that begins in July and takes us all the way through the big day. As Nikki approaches her 50th birthday, Christmas in July, a sudden revelation sparked by more than just summer heat sends her life into a tailspin. The achievements she once prided herself on, a home, a car, now feel hollow. Her vision board, once a hopeful map for the future, now seems like wasted effort. Her job is no longer fulfilling. Nikki's got it bad. To top it off, her boyfriend Smith proposes, but she's not even sure about him. What should be a celebratory milestone becomes a plunge into despair and a brush with her guardian angel, Jesus, and some sweet potato pie. You've got to read the book to find out the details. I'm just saying. her guardian angel delivers an ultimatum. Find her second act by Christmas Eve. Failure means she'll spend the rest of her life with dark days. I mean, who wants to live the rest of their life in dark days? With fear of eternal hot flashes threatening her days and nights, she takes on the challenge. Embarking on her second act leads Nikki into the gravitational pull of Evan Goodman, the hot doctor who makes her feel content, and Jordan Devlin, her first love who ignites passion, or a dangerous spark. I mean, in the game of love, who can tell the difference? Caught between the safety of contentment and, well, fire, Nikki must make heart-wrenching choices. Time ticks away as she navigates the path from Christmas in July to Christmas Eve, desperately seeking her true calling, chasing her dreams, and discovering which romantic interest will help her bloom into the best version of herself. The Nick Before Christmas is a hopeful romantic comedy with a little bit of Jesus and sweet potato pie and a whole lot of self-discovery. This enchanting narrative is the perfect holiday read to fill your heart with the warmth of Christmas love. And now, back to Chicks on Christmas Flakes. And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. In the previous segment, I gave ratings and reviews for Christmas on Duty and A Newport Christmas. For this segment, we're going to talk about the new releases on Hulu and on Prime Video. And then I'm going to talk about the rest of the week in Countdown to Christmas. All right. So Hulu and Disney and so I got the name of the movie wrong. It's called Joy to the World. Joy to the World. I got that one mixed up. But it starts November 1st. It's called Joy to the Movie. And Chad Michael Murray stars with Emmanuel Chriqui? Is it Chikri? I don't know. Chriqui. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I completely butchered that. I know that. I know this other one though. Aisha Curry's in this movie. I actually saw the previews for this. I think there's a trailer out for it now. It's a romantic comedy about a lifestyle guru who hires her best friend to pretend to be her husband for a live holiday broadcast. So we know that's going to be interesting. All the fake husband, the fake, all those things are usually very amusing. Okay. And then we have Finding Joy. Tyler Perry's Finding Joy. So it follows Shannon Thornton, who is the star, as Joy, a New York fashion designer whose talents are overshadowed by her boss. Just like her career, Joy has been unlucky in love, encouraged by her steadfast friends Ashley and Letitia. I think that's what it is, Letitia. Let me tell you, the friends are hilarious. You could watch the movie for the friends, and that would bring you joy. Joy did not bring me joy. I'm sorry. You could see her character arc, and you could see her character change over the course of the movie, and as she started revealing kind of her past and the things that went wrong or whatever. But Joy was not a joy. Okay. So, Joy follows her crush, Colton, to Colorado, hoping for holiday magic. Instead, a shocking revelation, and oh my goodness, this revelation, I would say this first, maybe 15, 20 minutes of the movie, hysterical. Definitely followed in it kind of followed in, the kind of the template of a Christmas movie, like a TV Christmas movie, right? but it's this, they're kind of trapped together in close quarters part that I think where things kind of went off the rails for me. Anyway, so Joy follows Colton to Colorado, hoping for holiday magic. Instead, a shocking revelation and a snowstorm leave her stranded. At her lowest, and she got really low, Joy meets Ridge. It really takes a turn, right? It's like not a good turn for a Christmas movie. Like a Christmas movie consultant needs to consult with Tyler Perry about Christmas movies, because it took a turn. And it wasn't like, if you're in the middle of Christmas mode, it wasn't even a really, I wouldn't say it was a positive turn for the movie. And it just kept turning and turning and turning and turning. So I really liked the beginning. The end was upbeat. The middle had some issues. Okay. Anyway, so Joy meets Ridge, a chance encounter that transforms her perspective on life and love. So I would say, one, for me, Joy was a little bit annoying. I'll give a full review on this. Joy was a little bit annoying, but the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, to me, are the things that kind of hold the whole movie together. So if you can get to the beginning, and you will get through the beginning. That's easy. Like, the beginning is easy. The setup, you'll totally get the setup. If you can hang in through the middle, the ending does get better. Is what I would say. All right. Now is what we're watching on Countdown to Christmas. This is week 3. So I'm going to start the list on Thursday. There was a lot that came on yesterday that I missed. I watched Round and Round that came on yesterday. That was so good. That Hanukkah movie. For the first time, I think I actually sat and wasn't trying to do other stuff through it. And I loved it. So Groundhog Day came on yesterday. A Family for Christmas with Lacey. I watched that yesterday. Marry Me at Christmas with Rachel Skarsten and Trevor Donovan. And Silt with the List. I kind of went back and forth between those. Those came on at the same time. The 9 Lives of Christmas. I have that on my DVR. I did not catch it at noon because I was in the middle of meetings for work. But I did catch it on my DVR later that night. And then A Big Fat Family Christmas came on yesterday too. So that was good. And then last night was A Biltmore Christmas at 8 p.m. I was watching Finding Joy, so I missed that. But I have seen Biltmore Christmas many times, and I will probably watch it many times this season. Okay, so today we've got quite a few things going on. Christmas Getaway at midnight. So I think I just missed it. So it's at 2 a.m. right now. Christmas Getaway and Jingle Bell Bride came on at midnight. Project Christmas Wish is on right now. At 6 a.m. we have USS Christmas. That's Trevor Donovan and Jen Lilly. They're on the USS Christmas. So I would say that would be my pick at 6 a.m. I think that's all Hallmark Mysteries. Jingle Around the Clock, Hallmark Mysteries. That's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. Jingle Around the Clock is at 8 a.m. At noon, One Starry Christmas. One of my favorite movies and an absolute classic for Hallmark. And I think this one actually shows on the Hallmark Channel versus Hallmark Mysteries. Then, the Sister Swap movies come on. I think this is 2 and 4. You have the Sister Swap movies, with Ashley and Kimberly Williams. So you have those movies. This is the first time I've seen those on this season, so you might want to catch that. At 6 p.m., Naughty or Nice comes on. That's a classic. An absolute classic. 6 p.m. Okay, and then my favorite movie for this year so far comes on at 8 p.m. Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. That's on Hallmark at 8. And then The Christmas Charade, which I really like. That's relatively new. Not a classic, put on Hallmark Mysteries at 10 p.m. So it was a bit of a mystery. And then Friday, we have The Christmas Club at 12 a.m. I actually really like that movie. That's one of my favorites. Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas comes on at 2 a.m. That is the original movie, right? The original Time for Me to Come Home. Before they have all these Time for Them, Time to Us, Time for Us, for everybody needs to come home at Christmas, right? But before all that was the first one, Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas, and that is at 2 a.m. At 6 a.m., we have the 12 Gifts of Christmas. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. And at 8 a.m., a must watch. I don't know. Thankfully, I have a second computer in my office. I think I will have this on. Crashing Through the Snow with Warren Christie and Amy Acker at 8 a.m. Then A Merry Measure comes on. And I believe that comes on the Hallmark Mystery Channel. And then Charming Christmas comes on at noon on the Hallmark Mysteries. And then Christmas with Holly comes on at 2 p.m. And I just talked about that with the potpourri. But that's absolutely one of my favorites. A classic, an older movie. That's on Hallmark Mysteries. And then The Royal Nanny comes on at 4 p.m. And then, at 8 p.m. on the Hallmark Channel, Mistletoe Murders Season 2 begins. So if you've already watched all the movies on Hallmark Channel, on Hallmark Plus, and then on the Hallmark Channel, well then, Season 2 begins this week. So you have to watch, and then they'll show 2 parts of it, right? So you get basically a 2-hour movie, a 2-hour mystery movie. And the previews have come out, and I can say this because the previews are out, is that you'll see Sarah Drew and Peter actually working together. So they've gone from her kind of falling into these things to them actually actively working together. So something tells me that she has spilled the beans on her identity at the beginning of this. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And then A Merry Scottish Christmas, which I think Scott and Lacey were in Party of Five, if I remember correctly. And so, of course, that's a Party of Five reunion. Saturday, it's a classics day. It's truly a classics day. It's some of my favorites on Saturday. So at midnight, we have Holiday Crashers, and that's relatively recent. Then we have Home for Christmas Day and the Santa Claus at 2 a.m. I will probably go for the classic that. I love Santa Claus, but I know they're going to play that again many, many times. Home for Christmas Day is a classic with Catherine Bell. If you remember that one, it's very tiered. So I guess it depends on if you want to laugh or cry. So if you're in the mood to cry, you'll watch Home for Christmas Day because you'll be like sappy in tears. Then at 4 a.m. you have Christmas in Vienna, and then at 6 a.m. you have A Cookie Cutter Christmas with Aaron Krakow. I love that movie. That's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. That's one of those movies that used to kind of get you in the mood for the Christmas season. Back in the day when they used to play it like regularly, and now, like I said, it's out of the vault and on Hallmark Mysteries. Then we have 5 more minutes, Moments Like These on Hallmark Mysteries. Then Last Vermont Christmas, Aaron Cahill, love that movie, Hallmark Mysteries. Then at noon, we have An Unexpected Christmas. I believe that's on the Hallmark Channel. Then we have the Christmas Class Reunion. And It's Christmas Eve at 2 p.m. That's going to be a toss-up. Like, again, depends on whether you want to laugh or cry. It's Christmas Eve is so good. We know I love the singing on that one. And then at 4 p.m. we have On the 12th Date of Christmas. I Love that movie. That's with Mallory Jansen and Tyler Hynes. So if you haven't seen On the 12th Day of Christmas, first of all, you must be hiding under a rock because it's been out for like 4 years. But if you haven't seen it, that is definitely one to see. Then at 6 p.m., we have Santa Tell Me, right? And that's with Erin Krakow. And then her debut for this season, Christmas Above the Clouds. I'm looking forward to this one. This is supposed to be like a Christmas Carol, but instead of Christmas Carol, it happens in an airplane. So Christmas Above the Clouds, and Erin Krakow stars as kind of the Ebenezer Scrooge character in that one. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will definitely have a review for next week on that one. On Sunday, just in time for Christmas. Now this comes at midnight on Sunday. Just in time for Christmas. I love that one. Eloise Mumford. I love that movie. That's a time traveling one. At 2 a.m., Meet Me at Christmas. I love this movie. So if you're not up, I don't know, my sleeping schedule has been crazy lately, but if you're not up, I think, and you haven't seen this movie, if you haven't seen it, it has one of the best twists of any movie I've seen on Hallmark, I think. And it's a bit of a tearjerker. So, definitely one worth putting on your DVR if you want to record that. Love it. Love that movie. If I'm up, I'm going to watch it. If not, I will put it on my DVR. I have room now. Okay, at 4 a.m. we have Angel Falls. At 6, we have A Shoe Addict's Christmas. I love that one. Holiday for Heroes comes on at 10 a.m. on Hallmark Mysteries. Then we have Christmas Homecoming. I love that one. The Christmas Note, classic. And then Once Upon a Christmas Miracle and Crown for Christmas. Then Christmas Above the Clouds comes back on at 6. And then you have A Keller Christmas Vacation at 8. That is the premiere for Sunday. Now, I will say, Jonathan Bennett's in that, Brandon Routh's in that. Like, those are the two that I really want to see. And I can't remember, there's a third one, and there's a woman who stars in it. And I absolutely, please forgive me for forgetting the name of her. But the two reasons I was going to watch it are Brandon Routh, the guys from the Nine Lives of Christmas, and Jonathan Bennett, who I love from everything. And of course, he's doing Finding Mr. Christmas. And then on Up TV. So Up TV has its weekend movie marathons. But honestly, when they had the no cookie cutter movies, I was all in. But they've kind of gone back to having, they're like Hallmark Christmas movies, like at the beginning of Hallmark Christmas movies, when Hallmark first started releasing Christmas movies. So I don't watch them so much. However, this week I may at least record, because they have the Great Christmas Snowing with the Lawrence brothers. Joey, Matthew, I can't remember the other one's name. You know what I'm talking about? 3 brothers. Well, I think they're all in the movie. So, if you missed it last weekend like I did, because it premiered like November 2nd, if you missed it last week, you can see it again this week. The Great Christmas Snowing. And then there's A Royal Christmas Manor. Both of those are on Up TV. The Royal Christmas Manor is a new movie for 2025. So, if you want to catch those, you can catch those. And then on Monday, we have Christmas on Honeysuckle Lane. I love that movie. I think that is at midnight. To me, this is a perfect Christmas mystery. No dead bodies, great storyline, and Alicia Witt, who I love for Christmas movies. Then after that comes One Royal Holiday. That's going to be on my list. And I love One Royal Holiday because they're singing and there's a beautiful dress with pockets. If you love dresses with pockets, you're going to love One Royal Holiday. Then they have Godwin Christmas Meant for Love. I love that one. Cindy Busby and Ben Hollingsworth. And we have Good Morning Christmas at 8 a.m. with Allison Sweeney and Mark Blucas. Love that movie. Then Merry Matrimony. I mean, they're classic, giving us the classics. Merry Matrimony. That's been a while since I've seen that one. That comes on at 8. And then the Santa Suit. Do you remember the Santa Suit movie where like the kind of Scrooge guy meets up with the Santa and ends up being maybe turned into a Santa, and he's basically poor, so this is like rich guy who owns a company ends up being poor and ends up being turned into the Santa identity, and he goes through a lot to figure out his character arc, but that movie came out, I want to say it was like 2010, and I watched it on the Hallmark Channel for years. So definitely a classic movie. And if you remember back in the day when we watched classic movies, that was one like you couldn't miss. So the Santa Suit comes on at 10 a.m. Like they really pulled stuff out of the vault. Then they have a Christmas Carousel, which it's kind of relatively new. It's like Rachel Boston and Neil Bledsoe. And then a Christmas Scavenger Hunt. That's with Kevin McGarry. Now, the first, I would say 3 minutes of that movie, absolutely hilarious, right? I mean, the movie's good overall, but that first 3 minutes has me hollering every time I see it. So you got to watch that. And then, of course, for Monday, you have the new episode of Finding Mr. Christmas and Baked with Love with Jonathan Bennett, and then Tamara Mowry does the Baked with Love. So those new episodes. And then the 10 o'clock is The Christmas Secret. So that is going to conclude for this week of Chicks on Christmas Flicks. So I'll do, of course, new movie ratings for Christmas in the Clouds, and then for A Keller Christmas Vacation, and then I will try to add some Up TV into my schedule with with that Joey Lawrence movie. And then guess what? Next week, new Netflix movies come in, and so we'll talk about that and next Tuesday. So that's going to do it for today. Please stay tuned. Obviously more news coming, and every morning that I can think of it, I release the 3 chick flicks to watch for the day. So if you've forgotten anything, you could obviously go back and listen, or you can just check out Chicks on Christmas Flicks on Twitter, and you will see each day I release the 3 movies that I'm most interested in watching for that day. Thank you to my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about the show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms include Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. You can find them in the link in the show notes. Follow the show on Twitter and IG at Chicks Christmas Flicks with X's on both ends. So Chicks with the X's, Flicks with the X's, and then Christmas. Chicks Christmas Flicks. Thank you for listening in, and I will see you next week. Looking forward to it. Enjoy your weekend.